Welcome back, friend. Today we are going to chat about the foundation of your wealth code. I see the word wealth and I see it in different ways. I see that this can be financial. I see that this can be a wealth of health. I see that this can be a wealth of spirit. For me, wealth and the word abundance. There's an abundance of spirit. There's an abundance of finances. There's an abundance of health. So for me, this isn't just about money. I believe that wealth and abundance is the people that you have in your life, the environment that you are in, the interactions that you are having, the information that's coming your way. I believe that wealth is not just about finances. However, we are on this material world, and I am going to focus in on how to make money in this module. That is really where we are at the moment in our human evolution. So when we take a look at definitions of wealth, and this is coming from Wikipedia, wealth of an individual is defined as net worth, expressed as wealth equals assets minus liabilities. Now, a broader definition of wealth, which is rarely used in the measurement of wealth inequality, also includes human capital. For example, the United Nations definition of inclusive wealth is a monetary measure which includes the sum of natural, human, and physical assets. Now, I'm bringing this to you so that you can see the distribution of quote-unquote wealth. Now, they are looking at this as, those different aspects. Why human design can offer you a whole new view is each one of us has our own human capital. However, this is going to be starting, that 2027 shift, which I'm going to talk about here in a couple of slides. It's going to feel and be experienced differently on this planet. Right now, the capitalism is what you would call crony capitalism. I would encourage you to look up that definition and see how that crony capitalism, where large institutions, large governments are basically utilizing their power in a very distorted way, stripping the resources, stripping the wealth, stripping the abundance of humans on the planet in order to feed their bloodline, to feed the wealth to, this very small aspect of beings on the top of this pyramid. Now, again, please feel free to investigate that on your own. You don't have to take my beliefs or my opinions of any of this. I'm just I'm going to bring you a little bit of the statistics from our world right now, and then I'd like to move you into how human design can really assist you going forward. So currency, in today's terms, I'm going to read these couple slides to you so that you can recognize that currency is the physical money in an economy, comprising of coins and paper notes. The important piece here is that this currently, right now, our currencies in the world are, they make up just a small amount of the overall money supply, much of which exists as money or credit money or electronic entries in a financial ledger. While earlier currency had a precious metal backing, that's not our reality today. So for trades, for people that were trading, when we were trading goods and services, currencies are a unit of account of various nation states whose exchange rates fluctuate between one another. Now, Unlike, our earlier coins made of precious metals, most of the mint today doesn't have an intrinsic value. There's no intrinsic value in the nickel that you have through the coins or the paper that the money is printed on. That's important. That's what I want you to take out of this slide. This is all coming, I'll show you in the next slide where this information is coming from as well. So there is no backing. What happens is that the movement of currency around the world is based off of and the value that it holds is based off of people having faith that the other parties will accept it. That's what our fiat money is backed with. It's not backed with any intrinsic value. It's backed with this faith. So today, most of the major currencies around the world fall into this category. Fiat money derives its value from the trust in the government. This is important, you guys. Trust in the government and its ability to levy and collect taxes. That one sentence alone is very, very important for us. What the impact of inflation has on us. Now, money has no stabilized value. The value goes up, the value goes down. And because we use this fiat currency, and because there is no intrinsic value, it's not linked to any kind of physical asset, governments have the freedom to print additional money in times of financial trouble. This causes hyperinflation. Because there's no solid, consistent value. Okay? We're gonna keep building on here so that you can see why this is so important. Inflation, if we take a look at the US dollar, the euro, and then just for fun, I put in the Venezuelan, I think it's called the Benir. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not. In the year 2000, if you had $100 and purchased something for $100, okay. 20 years later, to purchase that exact same item, it would cost you 50% more. You would have to work 50% more. You would have had a 50% raise. There's a 50% reduction in the value of the currency. Very similar in Europe. It's, around 40%, 41%. Venezuela, look at this. There's 281% that's happening year over year. So the value of $100 in 2000 is now worth, I don't even know what that number is. So in order to just go purchase a loaf of bread, the paper money that is required would fill up the trunk of a car. So inflation happens because there's no intrinsic value of that fiat currency. Now, what is happening in our global orchestrated directory is this. We are shifting. You guys have seen, hopefully you have seen this video. I added it in the very introduction so that you can get a grasp on the global energy that's happening. For the last 400 years, the community or the institutions, the government institutions, have really taken a hold in our world. Why is that? Well, they were designed to. We were on this cross of planning and the cross of Maya. We were designed to, as humanity, make more, become a slave to the bloodline leadership, become a slave to their crony capitalism. We were designed for that. And to put all of our trust in the institutions. Now, don't get caught up in having red, black. What I did here is that I added the locks. These are really the locks of LOCKS, locks of our trajectory. And I put that here because the locks are here on the mandala wheel. So each one of these locks, so nature, example, temple, leader, pattern, plan, way, and witness, those are all the locks of our duality. And then every 400 and I think it's 16 years, I want to say, the keys that unlock those locks shift. So right now we're in this cross of planning and it's shifting. 2027 is when the shift is going to happen, but we're feeling it right now. We're feeling it. Right now is 2020. The next 7 years, there's going to be massive movement towards leaving government, leaving big institutions, leaving the delusion, this pattern of delusion, because that's the pattern that we're in right now. The 16th gate is in the first line. They are all in the first line. We're in this first line reality. So the foundation is delusion. We're in this recuperation. However, what is really saving us, I believe, is that this witness is recognizing there is inner truth. There is occult knowledge that will come out in this 400 years. And this is a sense that I have. I am watching the world wake up. I am watching the world go, whoa, hold on a minute. I no longer want to give my decision making over to institutions and over to government. There's a mass exodus of people moving from this oppressive nature, standing up for themselves, and bringing that particular cycle to a close. Because we cannot have continuity and continue on in this path. And the world, it's shifting. And there's no one particular being on the planet that's doing right or wrong. It's just happening. This energy is breaking down. The crony capitalism, the large institutions, the large companies in the world that went out and they bought up all the mom and pop shops. And then they got very destructive. They didn't have the environmental plan. They didn't have the human rights plan. They just kind of walked through the world and bulldozed over humanity. What we are moving to this cross of the sleeping phoenix and this penetration, where the pattern is going to be wisdom. We're moving into the 6th line because the global orchestrated directory goes backwards. So it goes from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we move in the global orchestrated directory. It actually moves the opposite way as to what our daily transits and our larger cycles move. Okay? The nodes And this global orchestrated directory, they move the opposite way. So they're always moving in the opposite movement. So our pattern is going to be contemplation in the now, being self, being and doing oneself in the now, intuitively. As an example, it's about utilizing the intuitive clarity. It's about utilizing the wisdom of the now. It's about utilizing the common sense of our own personal power. And ambition, this is the one I want you to understand, because the capitalism energy moves from 54, 32, 44, 26, and then 21, 45 is the only voice of this. And this is it's all tribal. And ambition is moving. Instead of having the world make more, produce more, the ambition here, the transformation, the ambition of transformation. Why did I add that? The channel of transformation. So the ambition of transformation is going to be this witness that selectively makes a very inner authority decision on what to be ambitious towards or not. So instead of all the 90% of the projectors, generators, manifesting generators on the world trying to be manifestors, my hope is that the charisma, the archetype of a human, this integration is going to allow us to trust our own type, to trust our own interaction, so that our manifestors can actually fulfill their role in this world, which is to open doorways, get the ball rolling, open, new pathways for us. This is teaching us, the sleeping phoenix and penetration is teaching us how to stand in our own power, how our own nature, our own activation of our design is here to assist us with integrating the truth of who we are into our existence, to begin this fresh, new phase in our life, new beginnings, this new cycle. This is what's going to lead us into this next 400 years. So that we can achieve union in a whole new way. So the productivity on this planet does not come from handing over our authority to governments, to large institutions. Achieving union is about allowing for the temple, the physical body, our individuated experience to be integrated through inner authority, through correct decision making, through the correct new cycle, through the correct spirit, and through the correct shock, through the correct initiation. That's the plan. 19, 49, 37, 40, 51, 25, 10, 20. This, my friends, is the mystical way. The 1949 is breaking down. There's no longer going to be that channel. So the mystical way, you know, since human design was integrated into the planet, the mystical way started off with sacrifice. The 19 and the 49 is about sacrifice, ceremonies and sacrifice. So you see right now on our planet how all of this is coming to a head. There's been human sacrifice on this planet for centuries. But this energy is now shifting and changing and breaking down. So all of that is coming to light. But the cross of planning, this 3740, it's a bridge that initiates us into our awakening. This bridge is allowing the abundance. There's so many people on our planet. So the expansion of consciousness exploded over the last 416 years. There's so many human beings on our planet. Well, great. Because what took place is that this expansion of consciousness could happen. However, here's what's very interesting. This is also gut health, because the 40 is the gut. The 37 is the mouth. So how did the cross of planning control your awakening? Well, it controlled your awakening by the food that it produced to put on your plate. That's important. That's going away. That is going away. So the mystical way for us, this new initiation into contemplative awareness and awakening, it's going to look completely different on our planet. But know that the bloodline leadership that currently is in control of, the next 7 years, they do not want to let go. Their delusional understanding of what's happening on the planet, they do not want people to be autonomous. We are moving to an anarcho-capitalism. Look that one up as well. Where it's autonomous, where the mom and pop shops are going to come out, where the entrepreneur is going to rise up out of the ashes. As the world is penetrated with a whole new sense of awakening, a whole new sense of what it is to be intuitive, what it is to have intuitive clarity, what it is to have our own spirit, what it is to achieve union in a way that is completely unbeknownst to us. And it's going to be very shocking how we get there. How we are initiated is happening right now on our planet. The 6th line, if you go into the Rei Ching and look at all of the 6 lines, they all have their base in the 3rd line. Why do I say that? Well, 6-line beings have that tripartite life. So for the first 30 years, they represent and experience life as a 3rd line. So the only way a 6th line has any common sense, has any way to utilize, has any way to stand in this one-night stand, to phase the new beginnings, to have the wisdom, to recognize our own separation, to be selfish in our abundance, and to be selective, they've needed to have the 3rd line experience in order to get there. And that, my friends, is why you get to be here in this program right now. You're going to be able to make money, attract the correct resources, achieve union with the correct people, and stand in the absolute profound integration of your humanness on this planet. That is why I am bringing this to you, so that you have the opportunity to have the profound, profound cellular adjustment in the next 7 years, to walk into this, to stand in this, and not allow for the mental plane that's happening right now, because the world is going crazy. It is, because the control here is insanity. It's delusional. That's all breaking down. And you get to recognize it and witness it from a whole new place, from knowledge. And then you get to be selective in your transformation. So the currency of the future really is the human design body graph. This is a circuit board. So each one of our cells, we have the entire matrix. However, it is the specific activations that allow for the differentiated life to emerge. The wealth of your uniqueness is housed within this circuit board. When we take a look at fiat currency, which I just did, and inflation, we can clearly see, based on the global shift, we are entering into the writing is on the wall. There is no intrinsic value to the paper money that is in your wallet, the electronic number in your bank account, or the balance of your stock portfolio. And we are all moving towards something way more valuable. That, my friends, is your differentiated uniqueness. Value equals consistency and currency. Your intrinsic value sits in what is defined within you. It is consistent. Unlike fiat currency, this is never, ever, ever going to change. You were born with this energy. You have this energy. It is yours to own it. So what is defined in your chart is the consistent energy that others are coming into your life to experience. People come to me for my charisma. People come to me for my high levels of education. The openness, so what is white in your chart, anything, any channels, any of the functions or the centers, any of the gates or traits, these are like doorways and windows that others come to you through. So this openness is where the inconsistency lies. Because this openness is like a doorway and a window, like I said, that others see you. And this is where others come to you through these doors. So, for example, the 3828, this channel of struggle, it's not in my design. However, I will encounter people that are in the struggle to stand in their individuality. These people, their interaction with me happens because I have this 20th gate. They want to know, how can I be me? How can I do me in the now? How can I take my life that I struggle in and actually be that contemplative being, doing now, having my own behavior in now, having my own intuitive clarity, having my own ability to stand in my own self. So the inconsistent piece of this is that today, it may be a woman who is struggling not to lose her identity in her marriage. But tomorrow, it might be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. She might come to me because she is struggling to see herself moving forward with the company's vision. So the value that I provide to each of these scenarios is that I deliver a consistent flavor of charismatic empowerment that supports them supports them in recognizing the cycles of the life, which then allows them to recognize what patterns are, they need to let go of so that they can have a sense of pleasure in their lives again. Now, I've moved around and I've highlighted a few things here, and you guys are going to be able to see this at deeper levels when we break this all down. But my value, it has nothing to do with the fiat currency that I have. However, I get it. We are living in that world, and I'm totally cool with that. That this is, however, I want you to see that your value is not about what your bank account or what your home or what you have or do not have. I don't want you to see that as your value. Your intrinsic value is right here in the design. The key here is your interaction style, and we've talked about this. As you walk through this material plane and this material in the self-mastery movement, the most important teaching throughout the program is always that you stay true to the strategy of your electromagnetic field. Without this strict adherence to the laws of your type, the whole house of cards begins to crumble. So once we are interacting correctly, using inner authority to make the decisions on the electromagnetic level, we will interface with the correct people so the purpose of our design can be of service to the other. So as we move through this information, you will get a repetitive sense of just how the activations are designed to attract the correct resources and fulfillment of purpose. So, just a quick review. The generators, manifesting generators, classic express builder types, designed to respond to the request for your energy resource. Correctly engaging with the right request brings deep satisfaction. Our projectors or advisor types, designed to wait for the recognition and be invited to guide others to their greatness. Aligning to the correct invitations brings a deep sense of success. Our manifestors and innovators, designed to have the freedom to initiate what you are moved to do. Aligning to the correct initiation brings a deep, relaxed peace. Reflector types, evaluators, designed to wait for that lunar cycle to objectively assess the environment. Aligning to the correct environment brings a deep sense of awe for this whole entire sacred geometry that's happening on our planet. So again, this is about making money. Attracting the right resources for yourself is so much more than just the financial aspect of life. This is the reason that I built this program out in these steps. First, you need to know yourself, your electromagnetic energy field. Is it open and enveloping? Is it closed and repelling? Is it penetrating and absorbing? Is it sampling? You need to know your strengths. Do you have the strength of charisma? Do you have that channel? Do you have the strength of individual structuring? You need to know what qualities are there. What are the gates that are hanging, that are dormant? What are these qualities that you have that bring people to you? And then what is the role you are designed to represent? This really is your profile. What is that role? For me, I'm a 1-3. I am totally designed to investigate and become an authority. And through that process, I have a trial and error life. I try things. I'm a pioneer. I attempt things. Sometimes they go right, sometimes they go wrong. It allows the world to then understand that no foundation is ever going to be solid. We are always in a mutative, moving spiral. That's my role. What is yours? So how is your purpose designed to be fulfilled? For me, it's fulfilled through the quarter of duality. I know that to be a contagion for what I love and what I recognize as my focus in this world, it has to happen through measuring the duality, recognizing other people, meeting other people where they're at. So recognize how you are designed to be with others in a relationship. I totally can see that I have the 2145, this channel of money, but it's also the channel of management. I am here to care manage, to support manage my tribe. That's what I do. So each step along the way fills in another piece of the puzzle. So each step is then embedded into the new cells of your physical body. This is a physical body process. This is not, let's learn human design and then regurgitate and go out. Been there, done that. I totally understand it. This is a process. That's why you're here. That's why you're walking through this material, so that you can recognize how the process works on you. Making money, business relationships, and the correct career may then be a seamless movement, because it is, the design utilizes you to the optimal level when you are aligned to it. And it feels very seamless. It feels very satisfying. It feels very peaceful. It feels very successful. And it feels like, whoa, there's so much awe and surprise as the universe just provides exactly what my design requires. So when we take a look at this, what we're looking at is, how do you attract resources? These are your resource attractors, or your money receptors. The defined gates in an undefined function. That is how you are designed to attract resources. Now, just play with me here as I walk along. This is the area you are designed to have wisdom. Anytime you have an undefined or an open space, anything that's white, this is where your wisdom potential is. Why? Because that's how people get into your doorway. That's how people see you. That's how people come to you, is through this openness. So the shadow or the not self, it's not a bad thing, because that's how we interact with each other, is because these spaces are open. Like take for example a shelf or a cupboard in your house, or a table or a counter. When there's space there, naturally something wants to occupy that space. Just happens. That's why we declutter. That's why we minimalize. And then all of a sudden, 5 years later, it's like, whoa, how did I get this? And how did I get that? How come this cupboard is so full? Naturally, when there's a space, objects want to inhabit it. So you're naturally attracting others in these areas that are open. So the defined characteristics are going to be the receptors, right? Oops. Sorry. So the defined characteristics, meaning the defined qualities or traits that are right here. Traits, gates, whatever, characteristics, whatever you want to call them. These are your receptors. For me, how I look at this is that they are like catcher's mitts. When you're playing baseball and you have the catcher there, they have their mitt up and they're just waiting. They're just waiting for that ball to come in so they can catch it. This is a dormant potential where you are specifically designed to attract people. There's a full strength. People are coming to you because this is a strength. This is something that's consistent and reliable, and it's within you. I'm not saying that a dormant potential or a hanging gate, that it isn't consistent. It is. However, the flavoring of it, you meet the person on the other end. So you meet, like for example here, the 62 meets a 17. The 63 meets the 4s. So you have this being right here that is doubting and very suspicious of patterns. And they meet the people that they need to, that provide them with the answers. You know, that can bring some kind of mental relief to that suspicion. These dormant potentials attract the other. The genetic imperative wants to, connect up, just does. So these characteristics give you the most natural way to offer, market, and deliver your wisdom, products, services for you to profit. These are what we call, again, your money receptors or your resource attractors. Now, we look at the reflector. There's lots happening here. Now, what you'll learn is that it's not that they have to make money in all of these different spaces. It's to know it, to recognize it, and then everything is malleable. We utilize and we naturally will begin to recognize, this is one of the consistent ways that I make money. Okay? So, can you see how this works? You have a dormant potential. You have a gate hanging in an undefined center. These undefined centers, that's the doorway. That's how people walk into your life. And you're very suspicious. For example, in this example, this person is suspicious. They're always doubting patterns. But how to get relief and how to come to a breakthrough, they will get people that walk into their world that can provide them with some kind of a formula, some kind of an answer, so that they can have that mental breakthrough as to why that suspicion showed up. Now, I'm just using basic keynotes. I'm not talking about money here yet, okay? Because the money talk is a little bit different. So I just want you to recognize somebody here, this person has this confusion. Why are these experiences happening? What's happening here? They become confused and it's very difficult to come to a realization. And then they have a conversation with someone. That person brings them the realization so that they can have a very, very organized way on, there's the realization. I can organize that in a way where I can then allow others and assist others and share it with others through my ideas and through my rationale. I can then share that organized, structured pattern as to why experiences take place, what that experience was supposed to bring, so that the confusion can come to a realization. But there's going to be other people that interact with your life so that that can happen. Splits. I want to talk about splits as well. Split definitions. When there is a split definition, there's always going to be a genetic imperative on this being to connect those splits. So for example here, the 51, the 45, and the 57 become areas of focus for this particular person, their throat, and their identity to the willpower, the instinctive knowing, and their drive and stamina. There's this genetic imperative to bring in very shocking people. There's this genetic imperative to bring in those quote-unquote CEOs that are able to give supportive management to the transmission. There's going to be this connecting up with people that can provide an intuitive clarity as to how this person's behavior will shape their leadership. And because that genetic imperative is there, what will be noticed is that these people will be able to make money through those particular open activations. Now you're going, hold on a minute. This is counterintuitive to what we just talked about. Because in the last slide, I talked about them making money up here. That is correct. However, with a split definition, they become so wise that the flavor of what they are selling in the 43, in the 63, and in the third gate, all of a sudden, the flavor of what they sell becomes the flavor of these open gates. So I hope I didn't confuse you. We'll walk through this very, very easily and break it down as we move through. So how you deliver or how you be of service is in the definition. So of course, our builders, they're delivering work based on the strengths of their design. So here we have an express builder. They're going to deliver charisma. They are going to deliver it through this emotion. They are going to deliver it based off of bargains, being in the correct community, structuring logically. That leadership is going to feel very charismatic when they listen to their intuition. That's how they're going to make money. That's how they're going to deliver whatever product or service that they have for the other. I would walk into their life based off of who they are, and then they get to sell me their product. And this particular being is a quad split. So they are going to make money in very different ways. They have 3 islands of energy. So their main focus is going to be the 6. It is going to be the 44. It is going to be the 36. And then all 3 of these invited channels that will connect up their mental plane. But they're delivering it to me based off of their channels and based off of the quality of those channels. So an advisor delivers advice based off the strengths in their design. An innovator delivers information based off the strengths in their design. And they will then initiate based off of those strengths. Evaluators are delivering assessment based off of the environment because they don't have full channels. So their interaction with the other then is how they are going to deliver their assessment. So being of service through the strengths of your design. So what is defined in your vehicle? The tools you have to work with. to deliver your wisdom is, it is who you are and how you operate. That's how you are going to deliver all of the wisdom that is here. What you sell is actually your wisdom. We sell what we've experienced. We sell what we've learned. I'm not, like, for me, I'm surprised I don't have my design in here, but for me, I have the channel of charisma. I have the channel of money. I have the channel of cycles or maturation. I am not selling you any of that. I deliver what I sell based off of that. So what you are here to deliver from what is undefined. So the traits or gates in the undefined functions are what you naturally attract. We are attracted to what is on the other side. It is not what we are. So our genes, our genetic imperative, for example, this being here, it's not really attracting in more people in its life so that they can all come up with their own corrective plan. This particular person is going to attract in the intuitive being. They're going to attract in those ones, the people that can initiate them through shock. They're going to attract in the people that are here to gather a tribe so that they can transmit to that tribe. They are here to attract into their life the people that bring them answers and formulas to their doubt. So let's just break this down a little easier. Again, the generators, manifesting generators, classic and express builders, when we speak in business terms. Satisfaction comes from using up your sacral energy resource after response. Making money becomes simple as you work on and create from a place of response. Response is the most magical thing. This is the which provides the wisdom of what to engage with or not. Being satisfied is everything. You are designed in a way that your energy is naturally going to be requested because your open and enveloping aura is just waiting for others to ask. And the crucial thing here, are you doing what you love and loving what you do? And if you're not, if you're in this program and, that's a space in your life where there's a dilemma or a problem, this is the module that is going to allow you to drop deeper into doing what you love, based off of the mechanics of your design. Projectors and advisors, recognition and invitation provide you with the keys to your success. Making money by guiding and advising others and or groups to their own satisfaction and success. Mastering your connections to the other people in your world and mastering your skill set allow you to be the expert guidance when invited to do so. Your penetrating aura can focus in on the issue at hand and guide others to their greatness within, so that success is the overarching reality. So are you currently being recognized and rewarded for your spot-on advice? Is the career or business currently fulfilling your life? Manifestors and innovators, having the space to create new, innovative initiatives brings the sense of peace that you are longing for. Making money becomes peaceful as you inform others on what is moving you. Informing others as to what the impact the new initiative will create on those people. What information needs to be made available so others can work on building a better mousetrap. This information clears your path to continue to open new doorways for humanity to walk through or not. So having freedom to be in your creative muse brings you a sense of peaceful power. Would you agree to this statement? Our reflectors, having the correct environment where your objective views are appreciated and respected, brings you a sense of awe for the workings of the world. Making money by assessing the environment through objective evaluation. Engaging with the environment may take time to decide upon. Be patient and trust the correct environment you are designed to sample will initiate your objectivity. Naturally, what is not working and what is working can be brought forward for review. You are currently stuck in a place of deep disappointment? Are you? Have you noticed how easily your objectivity is accepted by others when you wait for them to ask for it? Okay. Now I'm going to give you a little tiny taster of what we are going to break down. What are you selling? You are selling being a healthy influence. In the head center, or the inspiration, you're selling inspiration. The conceptualization, you're selling certainty. Communication and action, you are selling getting attention. In the identity, you are selling love and direction. In the splenic center, you are selling feel good by letting go. In the willpower or ego heart center, you're selling worthiness and improvement. In the emotional intelligence of the solar plex, you're selling pleasure through truth. And through the energy resource or sacral, you're selling stop, quit. And drive and stamina and the root, you are selling freedom. Now, this selling happens through the openness. So if you have no functions open, if you're a quad split, we're going to get there. You're going to be able to see this in different ways. You have, maybe you have 7 of the 9 centers undefined. There's going to be lots of possibilities. Maybe you only have 1 or 2 open and undefined. Now you're going to be able to recognize as we walk down and break this all out, just exactly how this works for you so that you can begin to recognize this in your life, have the best career, have the best entrepreneurship, have the best trajectory for your design. All right. We'll see you on the next module.